The 2020-21 year began in challenging fashion, and by the end of it all, we had experienced COVID lockdowns, seen the effects of fires and floods, and then observed the formidable power of a major cyclone. Throughout it all, Rotarians did as they do, and we banded together to help those more directly impacted than ourselves, living our motto of service above self. Leading into the year, there was genuine concern as to whether we would, largely due to the pandemic, be negatively impacted by lockdowns and the many restrictions on our usual club activities. A district support package for our clubs was initiated, but in the end was barely needed, as our members adapted to the changes around us and in many ways proved the value of connection through Rotary. Despite this being an annual district report, it's not possible to cover every major event and achievement we experienced during the 2020-21 year. Even with the limitations imposed upon district by RI for the last third of the year, so much good work was undertaken, and the end result of a net increase in members in our district and a surplus in our district accounts for the year are just a reflection of all the hard work undertaken by so many. Given how unusual last year was, and in particular the restrictions placed on our activity at district by RI, this annual report will take a similarly different format. Rather than report our functional area achievements and results, of which there were many, we've structured this report around the 4 pillars of our district strategy and the DG themes and focus areas for the district that I outlined during the DG discussions that were had with almost every club in the district last year. So in terms of increasing our impact in such a restricted year, this proved challenging. However, we did have some notable achievements in bringing our clubs and district closer together and in developing stronger relationships with our sister district 9465. The conference at Optus Stadium was a clear standout with over 700 tickets sold to various packages for the conference itself. Importantly, this was our first joint district conference in 10 years and the feedback was just incredible, particularly around the 2 districts coming together to celebrate the centenary of Rotary in Australia at such an amazing venue. This provided a great deal of confidence in the positive and inevitable move towards redistricting and creating Rotary WA in the years ahead. The impact of Rotary was also experienced when we celebrated our centenary at the Rotary WA Centennial Ball, yet another highlight for the year. Due to lockdowns across the country at the time, we were one of the very few places in Australia to have such an event, and we certainly celebrated in style at a very memorable event and occasion. In our regions, we were also able to undertake the first regional pilot survey in Geraldton to assess the benefits of clubs working together in a regional area where Rotary has so much to contribute to a local community. 2021 also saw the re-emergence, sadly, of both bushfires and cyclones. Their devastating impact resulted in a district-wide initiative to establish the WA Rotary Relief Program that can be engaged when any local disaster emerges into the future. The Rotary Foundation also experienced another really busy year. In addition to providing significant emergency funding for the bushfire and cyclone relief projects, more than 19 club projects received support with district grants in excess of $42,000 in total. Expanding our reach during the year was helped thanks to the centenary of Rotary in Australia. Quite a number of events were planned nationally with varying levels of coverage, and this increased our public image. The centenary-focused Joint District Conference at Optus Stadium was also beneficial in raising the profile of Rotary, and in particular Rotary WA. This included media exposure through radio and social media channels. The Centennial Ball was another great example of this opportunity to raise our profile as Rotary WA. Regionally, a number of our clubs, notably Geraldton, maintained their use of local media to publicise the good work Rotary is doing in the local community. 2020-21 was a year with a strong focus on youth for RI. It was also another great year for emphasising the value of youth initiatives in District 9455. During this year, we celebrated the chartering of our district's very first Rotex Club and began exploring ways that Rotary and our universities could better work together. We also sought ways to expand our reach through other external partnerships with notable organisations such as Telethon and potentially Channel 7 and the West Australian. Noting the vocational work of Rotarians was also another area of focus this year. Although many of our members are retired, their skills and knowledge are very valuable. We are taking steps to address how this information can be captured and promoted to attract and retain members of Rotary throughout Western Australia. New members exceeded expectations this year, and whilst retention remains an ongoing challenge for an ageing service organisation, District 9455 for the first time in some years finished the year by reporting a net increase of members across the district. This year at the DG Visits, or rather discussions, the stated goal of engaging our members through experience within Rotary plus energy equals engagement was outlined. The results from the surveys completed at these meetings suggest that many of our members are either already or are seeking greater engagement with their clubs and with their fellow members. During the pandemic so far, Rotary has provided a sense of connection for people with a common experience of social isolation. Within our clubs, the take-up of Zoom exceeded all expectations, and many found new ways to engage in the digital world with their fellow members. Many clubs also reported that Zoom-based meetings gave them the opportunity to connect with people they'd not seen for quite some time. The digital technology support package provided by District to our clubs enabled investment in much-needed technology to support this new online approach to building and maintaining engagement. This was supplemented during the year by providing particularly new members of Rotary with the opportunity to attend face-to-face new member nights. The many events that our clubs ran during the year and the level of success they had in doing so were also highly visible and very valuable ways of building engagement both within and between clubs. This year, greater emphasis was placed on joint club projects, and many were undertaken, often raising significant amounts for projects and their very worthy causes. Our district awards were again a feature of our end-of-year celebrations and highlighted a tremendous level of commitment and engagement from so many members across the district. This year also saw the presentation of the inaugural Dr. Ken Collins Award for Excellence in Rotary, which recognised the outstanding work of Rotarians across both districts in Western Australia. A key area of focus for the district in such a constrained year for running programs, due of course to COVID restrictions, has been to strengthen our capacity for developing leaders and improving our capacity to adapt to the rapidly changing world around us. Early in the year, the district strategy for 2021-23 was developed, and this closely resembles the RI action plan for this period, adapted of course to our own local requirements, and it also forms the structure for this report. This was closely followed by fulfilling a long overdue need to update our district constitution and improve our level of good governance. In line with this, our first District Risk Committee was also established this year, and this will enable the district to better manage and respond to risks and challenges with our clubs as they arise into the future. Another important step forward in regards to good governance was the provision of governance training via district to club officers. The enormous skill set and experience of our members was also recognised this year through the announcement of the Vocational Census Program. Through this, we hope to ensure our member experience is well documented and shared for the benefit of all. Another highlight this year was the release to clubs of the Code of Conduct. This template, which can be customised for our clubs, ensures a common level of expectation regarding club members' behaviours. As we evolve in Rotary, it's important that all new and existing members are able to maximise their contribution through a culture of respect, inclusion and understanding. This has also resulted in the announcement of the Inclusion Project for the years ahead to attract and retain a diverse range of members that better reflect our local communities. To ensure our clubs are able to continue to run their events, District was also pleased to be able to complete a review of point of sale or EFTPOS facilities that clubs can access. This enables us to comply with the COVID best practice of cashless transactions whilst ensuring that clubs can maximise revenue through their events. A variety of new and largely digital fundraising options for clubs to consider were also unveiled during a very busy 2020-21. So that was the year that was. It will be remembered as challenging in many ways, but so much was accomplished. Despite the combined obstacles of fires, cyclones, and even a pandemic, so much was achieved for the year that we can all be proud of. In difficult times, it's truly inspiring to see those that shine as bright examples of service above self. The future for Rotary in WA looks brighter now that redistricting is formally underway, though the challenge will continue to be ensuring we as a service organisation stay relevant to new generations. The ability to adapt and be the light bulb that really wants to change will be both a club and individual challenge. But given our demonstrated ability to rise to the occasion during difficult times, we can be confident it's one we will overcome. The importance of connection that we've all seen during the lockdowns is one of the many reasons why Rotary needs to thrive. It's a time for all Rotarians to stand tall as leaders in our community and truly make a difference throughout WA and the world. My personal thanks to the District Board, Assistant Governors and Club Presidents for your leadership through a very tricky year. Along with all of our members in District 9455, we should all be very proud of what we've achieved in this our centenary year and the bright future that lies ahead for Rotary WA.